Hi guys, I'm back with another December not quite daily process video for you today. One of my favourite traditions in December is the Nespresso limited edition festive selection. I get it every year, and I always end up with a lot of this sort of ephemera, if you want to call it ephemera, junk attached to it as well. There's lots that comes in the post, and then I keep the boxes, and they've always got this pretty sort of sleeve, so I've got a lot of bits and pieces that I thought I do kind of want to add to my album, and since I've got this clear acrylic album this year, I've got a lot of room to do that. So I'm just opened up this box and I'm trimming it down. I trimmed off the front sleeve sort of portion of it, and then I'm using my page protector to trim the height, so it will fit exactly the same height of my album, not necessarily the same width though. Luckily the back of it is already printed green, so I could leave it if I wanted to, but I'm attempting to try and use up some of the stuff that I actually have, and in this booklet was this really pretty pattern that had photos of the little coffee pods and their flavours, and I kind of wanted to use that somehow. It was a really pretty pattern, and although I love the green of the actual cardboard sleeve bit, I like the sort of black added to it as well. So I was thinking about just attaching it to the back here and then maybe trimming the sleeve down to fit this height, but inside this booklet is also the flavor descriptions of the coffee, and I kind of want to add those in somehow so that I can remember what they were. The actual packaging of the pod doesn't really give you much sort of a clue as to what the flavors were, so I just trimmed out the little flavor thing, and excuse the little bug that keeps flying around. You can see I took care of that nicely. That was shocking that I got it on the first attempt. I've folded the little flavor piece down into just an accordion fold, and I'm going to turn this black piece here into a pocket of sorts to sort of hold it behind here. So I don't end up needing to trim the cardboard piece down. I am going to trim the black pattern piece down to fit the cardboard that I've already trimmed. And then I'm just going to use some double-sided tape to create a little pocket for this to fit into. If I just taped the three sides of that paper, the little insert would fall down to the bottom and I'd never find it again. So I just laid it on the back and drew a few pencil marks, not right up against it, allowing a little bit of room just to make sure that it gives it enough space to get in and out of the pocket. And then I went around the three sides of the paper as well. Now I'm starting by sticking one side down. All of this looks rather awkward, but actually it worked really well. So I've stuck one side of the paper to the cardboard, and then I flipped it over and I've pulled off the three sides of the pocket. You can't quite see, but I've added the wee accordion piece where it should go and then squished that down, and that makes sure that there's enough room for it to move in and out. If you just stuck the paper down and then tried to put the insert piece in, it sometimes can be quite tight, but this way it's nice and loose, it fits in there easy, and then I can pull the other sides off and stick that all down, and I've got a little pocket that's custom made for the piece that I want to stick in there. Now, adding bits and pieces to your album, you end up having this sort of dilemma of how to attach it into the album. If you're not using pocket pages, it's a little bit harder. If you are using pocket pages, you might not necessarily want to stick this into a pocket page. So you can just hole punch the piece. I could have done that. I've also got this old die here from Studio Calico, but not everyone has those, so I want to show you how you can make your own. It's super easy. I have trimmed down another piece of that box into a couple of little rectangles. I think they're about 1 by 2 inches. They might be 1.5 by 2 inches. It makes no difference what size they are. You can make them any width to whatever suits you. You can see here, this is how they're going to attach. So I folded them in half, and then you add a little bit of tape or glue to the inside of the fold at each edge. So this is what's going to attach to your actual insert piece. So I'm peeling off one side of the tape and I'm lining up my piece against a page protector so I can see where that's going to go. Then I add it so that the fold is in line with the edge of the page protector. Then flip it over, pull off the other tape and stick that down, and then you've got a little tab that you can use to hole punch and then attach your things into the album. So I'm just repeating that down the bottom. It does help to have a page protector so you've got some sort of guide. Now I wouldn't normally use card this thick. It made it super hard to hole punch, so that's the only thing to bear in mind with this method, is that you will need something that's thin enough to fit into your hole punch. I did manage to get mine to go in. I had to squish this down real hard. A lot of people have asked about this hole punch. It has no brand. You can see it doesn't even have the strip on the bottom. I've had this for almost 20 years, I reckon. Got it from just a regular old stationery store. It's not a craft one, it's just a regular hole punch. Now I had to go back to work at this point, so I did turn the camera off, and when I came back, you can see before I turned the camera back on, I added this pom-pom trim. I just stuck that down with a little bit of double-sided tape. At some point I might stitch it on, but we'll see. I've grabbed out a pile of 3x4 cards, my favourite ones, but I wanted to show you this one that I had made with some acetate. I just ran that through an embossing folder and created this really beautiful pattern, and then added a tag and stuff to it. I'm not going to use this one. The gold sort of didn't really suit, I didn't think. Nor did I want a clear pocket in this one, so I put that to the side, but I did want to show you. And so I'm just going through these 3x4 cards. These are all my favourites, picking out ones that might go. I really want to use that fa la la one, but actually it's a little bit light. I feel like with that heavy black piece on the other side, I need something quite strong on this page to balance it. None of these really suit. The little pink heart and the white doesn't really work either. So I end up going for green, which shocked me, probably as much as you, but it's just bold enough to balance out that black there. I knew this holiday tradition stamp was in this Kelly stamp set, but it didn't really sing true to me because it's not really a holiday tradition. I'm definitely not on holiday. I'm working really hard, so I decided to swap it out for this December. Now this is a super old Ellie Edwards set. I think it's from 2012. Like, that might have been the first year I ever did December daily. I still have it. It's a little bit worse for wear, but it looked really good. I just bent it around the edge of the plate here. So you can see it's a little bit older. It doesn't have a lot of stick left to it. It's stuck to my photo more than the block, but I peeled that off and that's in the right position. When I inked it up, I could see though it's got a massive scratch through the middle of it, and I don't know if it always did or whether that's new. You can see there, thought it might have been a hair or a piece of thread or something, but it wasn't. It's actually like scratched into the stamp. I decided to just go with it. I was hoping that once I stamped it down, the ink might fill in that scratch, but when I peeled it up, you can see here, you can still see the scratch. I'm not going to worry about it. I was going to go back and fill it in with a gel pen actually, now I think about it, but I kind of forgot. Now I am going to still use that Kelly stamp. I just cut off the holiday part and I'm just going to use the tradition part. I bent that so that it fit under the December, and now I've got a brand new sentiment to add to my photo here, and I really love the way the black balances out the black on the other side there. So you can see what I mean about this page needing something strong, and so now I've got strong colours, I've got this strong sentiment here, and all I really want to do is add a few little embellishments. I was going to add these Ellie Studio black puffy hearts up the top here, and I wanted to add one somewhere else. Now you're going to watch me faff about with this forever. I could not make any sort of decision. It was ridiculous. And editing this video, it's even more ridiculous. So I pick out this pink one, try that, don't like it, peel it back off again, try it down here, don't like that either. So I keep auditioning all of these puffy hearts. Until I finally just realized, well, actually what I need to do is grab a black one and just put it where I put the pink one in the first place. So there we go, finally sorted it out. I had just stamped onto that page protector, so I've just wiped the ink off with my finger there, put my photos and my cards into the pockets, and I'm calling this one done. I'm not adding any journaling or anything because there's not a lot of story to this. The story really is in those flavours there, which I've put into the pocket. So I hope this video helps you find a way to add a little bit of ephemera into your December daily. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there's a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.